Hello and welcome to Jessie Bear Book Club. We like to talk about historical fiction, wild cards, Game of Thrones, and much, much more. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.
Today I want to talk about The Wise Woman, written by Philippa Gregory in 1992. And as a teenager, it was one of my favourite books, as it covered two of my favourite subjects, Tudor history and witchcraft. In fact, it was the second Philippa Gregory book I ever read. I bought it while on holiday in an Oxfam second-hand bookshop when I was 15, and it was £2.50. I then bought myself a large Diet Coke and sat at McDonald's for 2 hours reading it. The simple joys of being a nerdy teenager. My copy of the book now resides at my parents' house, but I have the old cover version from before Philippa Gregory got really popular, and I will put a photo of the old cover version up here. The book completely blew my mind. I really enjoyed the natural, logical approach to witchcraft portrayed in this book, which is lacking in many of Philippa Gregory's later works. The book's main protagonist is a young woman named Alice, who is a changeling child or orphan, depending on how much magic you want to read into this plot. She grows up dirt poor, the adoptive daughter of the village wise woman, Morach, and she loathes every minute of it. At a very young age, she sets her sights on marrying a young, local, prosperous farmer. But his family disagree with the match because of her poverty and background. They convince her to join a nunnery, which she absolutely adores because she sees it as a prosperous escape from hardship and dirt and poverty. After a few short years, however, she finds herself back in the outside world as Henry VIII has dissolved the monasteries and nunneries. She ends up back in Morach's cottage, helping to serve the village as a wise woman or witch. When a local lord falls sick and his doctors are unable to cure him, she is summoned to the castle where she saves his life. But at the same time, she falls obsessively in love with his son, Hugo, who is married to a fat, barren woman named Catherine. The Anne Boleyn, Catherine of Aragon comparison here is very strong. It is almost parodied. Alice becomes the castle's live-in healer. While her obsession for Hugo grows, she finds herself accused of witchcraft on multiple occasions, which she is practicing. Driven to desperation by her desire for Hugo, she summons the most dangerous powers Morach has taught her, but soon she finds herself in a dangerous love triangle, Hugo and Catherine both using her. Alice also discovers that magic is nobody's servant. I will not go into very much detail about the love triangle between Hugo, Alice and Catherine, as it is very complicated, but I do want to talk about Morach. Morach is such an old hag, I adore her, especially when she is so brutally honest with Alice on so many separate occasions. Her death scene, though, was absolutely amazing. The chase sequence, her shape-shifting into a hare. Did she use magic? Did she escape? Did she die? We will never know. I used to read this chapter over and over again. Without a doubt, it is one of the best magic scenes Philippa Gregory has ever written, because as I have said before, lots of her descriptions of magic, in my opinion, are lackluster. The trials Alice undertakes to prove that she is not a witch are also very well written. You really feel Alice's terror at having to undertake them. I also want to talk about Alice's use of hallucinogenic fungi in the book. I feel this scene was very well written and draws on the human lack of understanding of the natural world at the time. It is completely possible for somebody to hallucinate and believe it was magic. The Vikings certainly did. I also want to talk about the plot twist when Alice is outsmarted by Lord Hugo's father. I really did not see it coming, and it was a glass ceiling shattering moment when Alice realizes she is not the smartest person in the room. It is also interesting to consider after this moment how Alice then views her pregnancy, as she then is uncomfortable with it, whereas before she was very proud of it. This book does not fit into the Tudor court series of books, so I don't know why it always gets lumped in with them. It is definitely a standalone novel, and I will not lie, some of the sex scenes in this book are very over the top, but underneath that there is a very good story about the line between magic, feminine power, and reality. I believe this book was a precursor to The White Queen and the magic Philippa Gregory wrote about in that book. The end of this book is very abrupt. I completely understand why Alice took the decision to take her own life alongside the Mother Superior, but Philippa Gregory could have given us a lot more build-up. Her decision seems to come from nowhere. I know this book does not have the best reviews online, but I really enjoyed it, and I have read it so many times I have lost count. I would love to see it adapted into a miniseries. I think 3 or 4 episodes would cover it. I know the over-the-top sex scenes are Star's cup of tea, but I would much prefer to see it adapted by the BBC. I give this book a solid 8 out of 10.
But what do you think? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. And as always, this is just my opinion. Please remember to help out and like this video if you enjoyed it. You can also follow me on Instagram at Lady Jessica Riddell and on Twitter at Jessams. I post on Twitter regularly about my videos. If you want to see more book reviews, character comparisons, and fan theories, please subscribe to Jessie Bear Book Club. I try to post a new video at least once a week. See you next time on Jessie Bear Book Club. Bye!